Boots, boots, boots. Yo, 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 yo. I know y'all didn't think y'all were gonna see us this soon, but hey, you already know the heavy hitters are back in town. I'm your host, Six Man K Styles. To my stage left today, we have the minister, Jew Talk Sports.
Yes, sir.
and at the bottom of the screen, y'all already know, man, it's the architect of all that you see. One of the architects of all you see. Senator Palpatine. Mad Mike Sports. What's happening?
Welcome to the dark side.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. As we already know, man, it's a cold day. It's a real cold day. So I hope everybody was able to stay warm as best that they could today. So hopefully we give you a little entertainment before everybody go ahead and go to sleep. So, Mike, how do we normally do this? We got three words for the people, how we always start this show.
Yo, mama, fine. Oh, that ain't it. That ain't it. Oh, okay. It's the real
No. God damn. You're killing me. It is the
Yeah, you got it turned up to 12 though.
Nah, I got turned up halfway. I don't know what the hell the ring shit you had going on right there.
I know I ain't that dang. Am I that damn loud? Good God Almighty.
No, you wasn't that loud. You wasn't that damn loud, but I don't know what the hell jump scare sound that was. But boy, that thing, it's the real roll call. And today's roll call, hold on, let's go ahead and do this right. Let's go and give a little bit of roll call music here. Yeah. All right, there we go. All right, today's roll call, we're going to kick this thing off the right way. Hey, we got Robert Ponder, Joseph Thornton, ATL Leo, Pat Norris, Big Ant in the building, Michael Walker, John St. Clair, we got Andrew G, we got Miss Sonia, that's my peoples right there, always in the building. Georgia, Texas, boy, we got Dirty Bird for life. We got the therapist ATL causing havoc in the realm of all that we do. Bubba Gump, Anthony White, we got Old Chicken Holler, we got D. Coleman. As Mike said, welcome to the dark side. Oh.
I gotta allow me to rant real quick.
Hold on. We're getting the Mad Mike infamous rant. DJ,
yeah.
Could you please cut it off?
Yeah. See, I told y'all about like leaving me comments. I'm probably the worst one to leave comments for, especially when I see something dumb. So he getting called. I don't give a fuck about like him or not. Okay? Excuse me. I don't give a dang if I like you or not. You getting hit with this truth, okay? So Zay in a bag, you know exactly who you are, brother. I love you, but you about to get this work, okay? So y'all remember when I said look at the evidence when we talk about all the winners and who've won championships the last few years? Y'all remember me saying that? So
Mm-hmm.
This is what Zay stated. Okay, and this is a lot of young people. A lot of young people in their 20s think like this. All right, I'm just here to give you a reality check. So Zay said, "Bro, come on, come. It's 2024. Come on, this is a whole different league. Bill hasn't adjusted to the new era of football yet. It shows that old school style that don't work." So I want to know something. Okay, Jesus, I want to know something, Lord. Okay, okay, let
You
me
want to know
pray.
something?
Okay, Jesus Christ, Yeshua, please tell me what in the blue heck is new today in football. Jesus, heal thy ignorant because I can't do it. Please tell me what is new in football today. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Jew, can you tell me what's new in football today? Because maybe I'm just like, maybe I'm sitting on planet whatever. Like, somebody tell me what's new in football today, okay? Hallelujah, Jesus.
Uh,
Hallelujah. Look, Lord, look, I will pray you for the rest of my days. If you tell me what right now, Lord, what's new in football today? Because I don't know.
all right, Jew, man. Go ahead and bless us
RPO
with
ain't even
some wisdom.
RPO is not even new. So wrong. That's wrong. That's not even new. But go ahead, you. Somebody explain that to me.
That's rhetorical. Yeah, I don't. As you already said it, Mike. It's nothing really new under the sun. It's just being you. They adding a little more wrinkles to it. Just adding a little more window dressing, as I like to call it, to it. But yeah.
Nothing. So nothing. That's all I want to know. So when we talk about the reason why I'm so frustrated by this, because we see a guy that's 65 years old. We have a guy in Doug Peterson who won. He's 58, 59. And then we got Bill Belichick, who's 70 years old. So all of the champions that have won Super Bowl, these guys have been in their 60s and 70s. So why are we all of a sudden saying we need to get with the new school because the new school ain't winning championships? I don't see a 33-year-old winning Super Bowls. I don't see a 40-year-old winning Super Bowl. If they did, they probably won one, which is McVay. He's probably the only one. But like, there's one guy who's done that in the last 10 years or so. So what are we talking about? It's 2024. Well, some of these guys at 42, he got fired, didn't he? Didn't our guy who 42 years old get fired?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. What happened to the other guy in uh um it's been plenty of guys. I'll just say that. It's been plenty of guys this year that's gotten fired, and these guys are young. So in essence, what I'm stating is it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what age you are. It becomes a matter of can you teach a guy and do they get it? Matter what age you are. That's what it comes down to. Can you teach it? Can you relate it and let them get it? That's what it comes down to. Pete Carroll's another guy. He's in his sixties winning Super Bowls. He created the Legion of Boom and this fad that we have in cover three. He created all of this. He helped make it famous. I'll say that. He made it famous. So when we talk about even the flex defense, multifaceted defense, that really came from guys like Jerry Glanville. Like Jerry Glanville and guys like Rex Ryan, Buddy Ryan, like they created all these guys. These guys are older. We don't see anything different in the league. So what it all comes down to, it's like young people ain't doing the dang on thing. I hate to say it. What like this is how many times have you seen a guy come out of college and have Hall of Fame numbers? I mean, MVP numbers coming out of college. That's all I'm saying. So I understand that you think this is a young man's game, but it's not. It's always and forever going to be an experienced guy game. That's LeBron James right now. He damn near 40. He still look like he ain't slowing down no time soon. So we gonna still say this is a young man's game? Experience trumps talent. Experience is always going to trump talent. Just saying.
Just ask the Philadelphia Eagles when they went up against Tampa Bay. Who won that game?
I love you, but I had to say that. I love you, Zay, but I had to say that.
Experience. RPO been around for 10 plus years. The difference now is that majority of the teams run it now instead of set number of teams running it. If you really think about it, you really running the Colin Kaepernick offense. That's what the RPO is. Mike pointed that out to us. And I had to go back and think about like, yeah, especially around the time when they were still that was right around the dead zone time of the running backs.
That's when Michael Vick, Dan Reeves actually brought the college game to the NFL with Mike Vick. He was running those spread options. And that's what the RPO really is. It's just a version of the spread option. All they did was use wide receivers to set the picks. It's like setting the pick. All you're doing is using your wide receivers. Most teams use their tight ends to run picks, but in the spread option and the RPO, you're using your wide receivers to set picks and not your tight end. So that's that. Like the concepts are nothing new. All of this has been done.
Yeah, I got a question for y'all with this topic since we're here. So I don't know. You said his name was Zay. What I would say about the game, as far as how the game has changed, I do think that the NFL has changed, but physicality still wins. I just think that, and you guys let me know if you disagree or agree. I think that you can't really win anymore with dominant defense only. Like early in Bill Belichick's career, the 85 Bears, if you go back to the 90s, the 80s, you could kind of just have a really good defense and you could dominate the league. But I feel like because of the rule changes, it's not that football changed, the rules changed. So I really feel like you can't be just a dominant defense and win and don't have a quality or even an average offense. And that's why we talk about balance and what kind of balance the league out. And I don't know if that's what Zay was going, because he didn't say that. This is what I'm personally stating. I don't feel like you can win anymore with the '01 Ravens, the 2002 Bucks, because of the rule changes. The rule change, they changed the game. You can't be as brutal. The 85 Bears would just knock your quarterback out the game. Most of their games, you go back and look at it, your quarterback wouldn't make it through the game because they were so
Mhm.
brutal with that 46 defense that they could suffocate teams and literally injure your players. Not even like we're gonna make your quarterback scared to throw the ball. He gonna be on the sideline. He gonna be on the stretcher before the game is over with. Same thing with those Raven teams that Shannon Sharp played for, where he stated he was the big play Shay. He only needed to make one play on offense, one big play, because those Ravens was knocking quarterbacks out as well and knocking players out. You come across the middle, they were knocking you out the game, your best players out the game. So I really feel like in today's NFL, where it has changed is you have to have more balance. And that's why I keep telling people, if you look at that first New England team that won that Super Bowl, Tom Brady was not at the top of his game. They had a really, really good defense that could hold teams down. But I feel like if you just look at today's NFL, you have to be able to put up points. And that's why they keep pointing to the quarterback, the quarterback, the quarterback. Well, the reason that the game is the way that it is now is because of the rule changes. The same thing in the NBA, where you're seeing high scoring, because they've changed the flagrant fouls, the fouling, the physicality to be able to grab and hold. And You can't hand check. So I really feel like that's really the thing when I think about it. So what do you guys stand on that? What do you feel about that? Because I feel like just the way that the game is set up now, you have to be able to put up points. Because we've seen our Falcons defense this year was really good, but you still at some point, even in them games where they were holding teams to 0-0-0 first half or first quarter, but then eventually your defense is going to crack. And that's when those games where we lost, when our offense was turning the ball over in the red zone, weren't scoring. So what do y'all feel about that? Because that's why I feel like the game has changed. It's really the rules. It's not the game of football. The football still won in the trenches, but it's the rule changes. How y'all feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like you said, we're at what we call our time now, where defenses have to be careful about every little move they make out here. Every little step I take, you will be there. Every little step I make. That's
Well,
it. Hey.
I love that song, bro. Don't do that, K Style. Don't do that no more.
But yeah, man, it's a point where the defenses are at more of a disadvantage. But like you said, as well as like what we're looking at, a lot of the teams that are winning these games as well. I know a lot of people kind of fell in love with the deep ball and think that the deep ball and those big explosive plays like that is the norm or is the expectation for what a lot of these teams do. No, it ain't that. Whatchamacallit, you got to be able to score in the red zone. That's just as that, and all honestly, that hasn't changed neither. So yeah, I agree with you. The only thing that's really changed is the fact that the defenses can't really do as much as what they need to do or what they fundamentally have been taught. Think about it. You can't hit nobody low. You can't hit nobody high. You can't kill no. Let me use the better word. You can't destroy people on the field. You can't hold up on blockers. Like you pretty much just can't.
You can't suppress the points. You know what I'm saying? You can't suppress them team from scoring. Because if you do, like say you do just like you said, destroy somebody out there on the field, 9 times out of 10, it's a 15-yard penalty. If you try to destroy a quarterback nowadays, like if you were doing what LT was doing in the 80s with the Giants, he would be out the league. He would be suspended. Like he would be the Vontaze Burfict of today's NFL. I seen somebody talk about Vontaze Burfict in the chat. So it's just like, I really feel like that's what kind of has changed. And I don't want to jump ahead of you guys, but just looking at the playoffs, I kind of want to give you guys my thoughts of what I've been noticing. And this is why kind of how I've been predicting who I know Mike said he hate predictions. I've been putting my little picks out there for the playoffs. And what I looked at.
I just hate them because I suck at it. That's why I hate it. I hate it because I suck at it.
Yeah, well, I was looking at when I've been picking my teams. I know a lot of people say, how did you do his predictions? Well, how I've been doing my prediction is I've been looking at the coaching, because you guys know I kept talking about Arthur Smith all this year. Coaching's paramount. Coaching's paramount. Coaching's paramount. Well, in that Dallas matchup, Dallas versus Green Bay, I picked Green Bay over Dallas. The reason I picked Green Bay over Dallas is because I knew Dan Quinn's cover 3 versus the offense of Green Bay and LaFleur, who was under Dan Quinn, who was under Shanahan. I say he knows that Dallas defense, that cover 3 like the back of his hand, and he gonna destroy them. The same thing, what happens when Dan Quinn goes up against Kyle Shanahan. I say that's gonna be the difference in the game. Sure enough, what do we see? He just got out schemed. You seen guys running wide open. And that's what I kind of been noticing with this playoffs. When I've been doing my picks, I've been looking at the coaches and the coaching staffs. And as they say, styles make fights. A lot of these guys that's coaching in today's NFL, no disrespect to a lot of these guys, because it's a lot of brilliant minds out there. McDaniels for the Miami Dolphins, a lot of these guys. I really feel like these guys wouldn't have been able to be as successful with the older rules. I feel like in today's NFL, it comes down to really being able to scheme guys open in the passing game. And that's why I keep saying that I want the Falcons to get an offensive-minded coach. With these younger guys, if you look at it, it's not so much that you have to have the best players. It's fine having really good players. But if you look at the Eagles, what really hurt the Eagles, and I said this on my Twitter, they stopped running the football. They stopped doing what they did best, and they're not scheming guys open. AJ Brown, Smitty, all those guys they have over there, all those weapons they have over there. You can't just line guys up anymore. Say we're gonna put 3 wide receivers out. Y'all just beat coverage. We're not gonna scheme you. We're just gonna say you lining up here every play. Go out there and just beat your man 1-on-1. 9 times out of 10, those teams that are doing that, you're not going to win that way because of the way that the rules are set up. You have to put guys in positions, move your best players around, put your best wide receiver in the slot on the 3rd string corner. That's smart. And I don't know what you guys feel about that, but that's what I've been noticing. It's just a lot of the lazy coaches that just say, I'm just going to throw my guys out there. My guys are better than your guys. The Seattle Seahawks, when they had Sherman, when they had Cam Chancellor with Dan Quinn, people say, what's wrong with Dan Quinn's defense? The cover 3, you put guys in positions and you say, we're not changing. This is what we do. Our players are better than your players. They're going to beat you. We don't care that you know where Sherman going to be lined up. We don't care if you know where Cam Chancellor going to be lined up. We don't care if you know where Earl Thomas going to be lined up. This is what we do. We better than you. And you got to stop us. And I feel like that's been the problem. If you look at a lot of these games, the teams that are losing, it's just out-coached. The Buccaneers out-coached the Eagles. They didn't have that much of a better team. The Eagles weren't tackling. They weren't doing the fundamentals, but a lot of it was just being out-schemed. What you guys feel about that? Because that's what I currently feel like in the league right now.
Let me hit this super chat right quick, if y'all don't mind, fellas. We got Dirty Bird for life with the $5 super chat. Said, do you think Nelson is gone? I heard he's interviewing with the Jaguars. I think we need to keep him, in my opinion.
He gone.
He gone. He gone.
That's if Belichick come here. Like if Belichick come here, why do we need Nielsen here? Like
I mean, even if Harbaugh comes, he's gone. It's like there's no, for one, we don't know exactly how instrumental he was in actually building that defense himself. So I know people. I keep y'all got to learn how to listen, man. Just because guys have a title of defensive coordinator and offense coordinator, don't mean they have the power. That's not necessarily what he's doing. He's a defensive lineman. Okay, he's a defensive lineman coach. He teaches pass rush moves. That's what his strength is. He's never called plays. It's the first year he's called plays. The first year that he's fully called plays, he shared responsibility in the Saints. I told you guys this from the beginning. We can't be scared to get rid of coaches because we think because he has that title of defense coordinator, he's the brains behind it. We should have learned that shit with Dan Quinn. We should have learned it with Arthur Smith. People share responsibility. So when you take them away from people that they shared that responsibility with, they're not as good. Like, I'm going to just toot my own horn. It ain't many people that can go one-on-one with you guys live by themselves and still be entertaining. The heavy hitters is one of the few channels that you can see every last one of us. Jude done did his solo, Kev done did, I done did my solo. There's only so many people that can go one-on-one. They have to have people with them, a brilliant mind with them. It's nothing wrong with that, but that right there is a rare skill when you can turn this damn camera on, or you can, become that one-man show. That's a rare skill. That's a God-given talent. Not everybody has God-given talent. They have to practice on it. They have to work for it. So when it comes down to, seeing all these defensive coordinators, offensive coordinators, it's a reason why these guys don't playing out as head coaches, because they're so used to sharing responsibility. This is why we see so much failure at coaches. Now, it's because they share responsibility, and then we see them as head coaches. They have no clue. We saw Arthur Smith looking at that play sheet like, bro, I was like, he mumbling to himself. He don't know what the hell to call. This is why I'm not sold on Ben Johnson. Everybody else is. I'm not. He's a baby. He shares responsibility That's Dan Campbell's offense. He designed that offense. He's helping with the offense, but he didn't design that offense. That's Dan Campbell. And Dan Campbell, that's why he even struggled, in the first few years with Detroit. There's always struggle. So sometimes you got to find the right pieces to put them together. And this is why you got the heavy hitters. Look, we feed off each other. We feed off each other. This is why AFN, we learn how to work together. And this is the thing. Everybody be having these unrealistic expectations for all these coaches like Ryan Nielsen because the defense played maybe the recipe for the Falcons' success is Jerry Gray, Ryan Nielsen, and Arthur. We don't know. We're going to see now, but we don't know.
And we got to remember that it takes more when you're a head coach. It's one thing to be a coordinator and then be a head coach. Head coach is like a way bigger responsibility. And that's what I kind of been talking about when I've been doing my videos. It's like, it's fine if you can call plays. That's one thing. And I think Arthur Smith found this out the hard way. But when you're the head coach, you're the CEO of the whole team. So your job is not just let me focus on the offense. Because what if stuff start going bad on the defense? You got to make those decisions as well. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what a lot of people are getting mixed up. And you have to know how to allot your time as well. Because as an offense coordinator, my job is just to focus on offense, come up with a game,
Yep.
make sure the offense is doing what they're supposed to do. But as the head coach, you got to do everything, the injury reports and all of this other stuff that takes your time. And that's what you're talking about, Mike. And that's what I feel like, even what Don was saying, if we would have kept Arthur Smith, it's like, you need help. So sometimes you need to hire an offensive coordinator as a head coach. You can still kind of oversee and say, okay, I want to put my input on the game plan. But when you do everything, sometimes a lot of coaches bite off more than they can chew. We've seen that with Dan when he tried to take the defense back over. It's like, well, hold up, you the head coach. So you got to remember, before you take over the offense, remember, everybody's coming to him. The defensive staff is coming to him. The special teams, he has to oversee everything. So my biggest thing with the head coach is not only be able to call plays, or call, whether you call an offense or defensive plays, are you a leader of men first? That's the number one thing. Can you get guys to believe in you? One thing I love about Coach Prime, he gets people to believe and follow him. You got to be a leader. That what comes first, because you can be a great play caller, but you can't rally guys and make guys do things. You might not be a natural leader. As a head coach, you got to be a leader. You got to be able to go to the podium and know the right things to say. You got to know the pulse of your locker room. I feel like that was another thing where Arthur Smith kind of fell short. It's like, it's more than just being able to call plays. So I know a lot of people looking at the Ben Johnsons and these guys. I'm fine with these guys calling plays, but can they lead these young men? Even these veteran men? Because you got people that might be older than you, like a Calais Campbell in your locker room, where he can sift through the bull crap. You know what I'm saying? And he might know a little bit more than you. So they gonna, be on every little word you say. They gonna make sure, are you living up to what you talking about? So I really, that's another thing as fans, that we got to be careful with these coaches. Yes, you want a brilliant offensive mind or brilliant defensive mind, but the first thing for a head coach is, can you be a leader? Are you a leader? Will people follow you? Will people listen to you? Because if you can't motivate and they're not going to listen to you, you got to be able to control a room full of alpha males, 60, 70.
Oh boy.
And we know it's everybody's their own, playing for not just the name on the front of their jersey, but everybody's playing for their name on their back of their jersey as well, and playing for their own individual cause. So, yeah, man.
Right. And then, like you said, and kind of going off what John St. Clair was here talking about, that fake slide with Josh Allen. I'm about to say, didn't they ban the fake slide in the NFL?
I don't know, but I know it's banned in college. I know it's banned in college. But that has to stop. Like I think is for Josh Allen, he gets away with so much as a quarterback. Somebody need to knock his block off. Like I would purposely try to hurt him, because he's getting away with running through guys and like little things that quarterbacks typically shouldn't get away. Like he's behaving like a running back, but y'all trying to protect him like a quarterback. And I think that's just wrong with defenders, man. Like I said, if I was a defender, I would hurt him on purpose just to try to send a message, not to him, but the NFL. We're not going to tolerate this because it's not fair. It's not fair to the team, the defense whatsoever. Like you gotta like he fake sliding and I can't hit him. Like how is that fair? He can pretend like he's gonna go and get an extra 5, 10, 40, 50 yards on this. And I can't hit him. It's not fair whatsoever. So I like if I was the defense, man, I'll put a linebacker or a defensive player on the field for the sole purpose of sending. I would take out his knees. You heard what I say. I would literally try to take out his knees because at some point you have to stand up and you have to say, NFL, this is not cool. It's not. You can't play football that way when one position has the upper hand on everybody. You can't touch this dude. I'm gonna say this, and I probably get a lot of heat for this, but it's actually worse than Tom Brady. The reason being is because at least you can hit Tom Brady. They didn't outlaw hitting Tom Brady. It's just you couldn't like he got flags, but you could hit him. They didn't outlaw ban hitting. You can't even touch Josh Allen when he's in the open field like that. He running through people's chests, running over defensive guys, like because they have to, like as a defense and a linebacker, when you see him coming, you already know if you hit him late, they gonna call a flag. So he running through these guys, he know that he gonna run through them. He's already a big guy himself, so it's just like I said, it's just not fair, man. And like I said, I would purposely try to hurt him. I was literally sending a hitman out there, and I would for the sole purpose of hurting Josh Allen.
Right. And like our brother Reddy over here said, head coach set the standard for the team, holds all three phases to a high standard. He also cares about winning first. And there was and Dirty Bird here came with another one. He said, we need like you said, we need a great leader of men. That's what caused Arthur Smith his job. I don't think he was a great leader of men. I think he was a decent head coach, which I find very interesting because this is also, like, for me personally, this is why I said, like, the names like Anthony Weaver and Aaron Glenn and Antonio Pierce. Like these guys are really intriguing guys throughout this whole process.
I like the defensive guys. I don't like none of these offense guys. I like all the defensive guys.
Because if you look at all the defensive guys and for the fake hotep motherfuckers out there, all the black head coaches, which is all the defensive guys, these are guys that are able to be leaders among men. And some of these guys have done it in the league too. And like you said, that is a very underrated aspect as far as head coaches as well. Which we're going to get to tonight's topic on that. I think that was very good opening banter. We got 75 people in here right now. So y'all make sure everybody go ahead and hit that like button. And if you haven't
subscribed, thumbs up, people. Thumbs up.
Yeah, I was gonna make another joke about that, but we ain't gonna do that. But if you haven't subscribed to the Heavy Hitters Live channel, y'all make sure y'all go ahead and subscribe to the Heavy Hitters Live. We are 4 away from the 600 mark, which we definitely appreciate everybody for that. So, we're gonna take a 30-second chill pill right quick. So everybody can go ahead and get their minds ready for this next topic. So 30 seconds, y'all. Hit that like button, hit that share button, and subscribe. Oh. My bad.
Oh,
Yeah,
we back.
we back. Okay, yeah, yeah. Y'all couldn't see it, but I almost damn near hit a backflip over here during that special thing. So as we all know, I know everybody went on ahead and did the assignment. So let's get into tonight's conversation. The Atlanta Falcons head coach frenzy continues, as we've already know. A lot of names. I've mentioned a few names, but the main two names that everybody is talking about is Jim Harbaugh, Bill Belichick. Um, my brother Jew, I'll let you go ahead and run point on this. What is your thoughts on the candidates that they have interviewed for this head coaching position?
I like the head coaching candidates so far that they've interviewed. I'm leaning towards experience. Like I understand why Arthur Blank and Rich McKay, want somebody that's been around. And personally, like my number one candidate is Jim Harbaugh right now. Um, just seeing last night that we interviewed him, I didn't think that we were going to get a chance to interview him because I figured that he probably would take the Chargers job just for the mere fact that they have a quarterback already in place in Justin Herbert, and they have a lot of talent already on that team, like a lot of veteran talent, like the Khalil Max and the Bosa's. They have the names, so I was like, man, he might want to go over there. Plus, you're gonna live in California, so it's just like he has that advantage, but when they said that we interviewed him, I'm like, okay, maybe we have something here because, and I didn't get a chance to drop my video about it earlier today. So y'all getting it live right here. So when I looked at it, I was like, man, look at my chops. When I seen that we interviewed him yesterday, I'm like, man, like when I sat back and thought about just the schematics of it, I'm like, I think he would be the perfect coach for this team. As Mike talked about a couple of days ago, talking about just the RPO game and what he was able to do with Colin Kaepernick. And I just thought about the things that we did with Arthur Smith, him coming right in and kind of just adding his little bit of wrinkles to it. I'm like, well, these guys already are familiar with this type of scheme. I don't know what quarterback he brings in to run it, but you have the Tyler Algiers, you have the Bijan Robinsons, you have, if you guys remember, he had the Vernon Davis over with the 49ers. You have a Kyle Pitts here and a Jonnu Smith here. So I'm like, this could get scary for a lot of teams. If Jim Harbaugh comes over here and he hires the right assistants and we run that same similar scheme that we already been running and he just adds his wrinkles to it, and then he brings that structure, as I talked about, him being a guy that's like no nonsense, him being one of those guys that he's won everywhere he's went. I really think that he would be like a perfect fit if he hires the right guys, like to run the defense and to do the other things, his assistants. But just him as a whole, I feel like he's a great leader. Both him and his brother John Harbaugh. You see what he's doing with the Ravens. I really feel like, and you see what Jim Harbaugh did with the 49ers, with Colin Kaepernick, those guys. I really think that he could win a Super Bowl here if he was our head coach, just for the mere fact that he's a leader. He checks all of the boxes that are what we're looking for, and he's an offensive minded guy. He played in the league, as you were talking about with Antonio Pierce. He's a former quarterback, so he could even come in and speak into those guys like a Desmond Ridder. Even if Desmond Ritter's not the starter, he can kind of speak into him because he was in the league. He understands the struggles of a quarterback. So he would be able to be like that mentor, even if Desmond Ridder goes on to be somewhere else. For the time that he's here with Jim Harbaugh, I think that would pay dividends. And I also think that Jim Harbaugh, going back to college, he understands the mindset of how these young players think because he's just been with guys around Drake London and these guys' age. He's been around 21, 22, 23-year-olds, guys that are under 25. So he understands how these young players think. He understands the social media world. And I really feel like that's one thing that a lot of coaches that are older, like a Bill Belichick, I think that's one advantage he has over Bill, being that Bill's been in the NFL. He just was in college. So a lot of these guys coming out, and we got a really young team on the offensive side of things and on the defensive side of things. I believe that Jim Harbaugh would be able to relate to these young players that we have on this team. And I really feel like the players will buy in because everywhere he's been, he's had success. So I'm like, I think he would be the perfect fit. Personally, if I was, Arthur Blank, my choice would be Jim Harbaugh. That would be my first choice because he has the balance. He's not super young, he's not super old, but he does understand, and because he just was in college. And what we've been saying is the NFL. What are we seeing on the offensive side of things? And this is something that Mike talked about with the quarterbacks. A lot of these schemes that we're seeing are coming over from the college game. This spread, all of this RPO, a lot of these mobile quarterbacks. If you watch college football on Saturday, you turn on the NFL, you've been watching the playoffs, it looks like college football. Like I said, they've taken a lot of the physicality out of it. So if you look at it, being able to put up points, being able to understand the schematics of it, I think Jim Harbaugh may be the perfect fit, just for the mere fact that he already understands it. He just won a national championship with Michigan. And if you've seen his Michigan Wolverines, what were they doing? Running the football. Playing tough defense, physical in the trenches, similar to what we've been trying to do here in Atlanta. So I personally think that he would be the perfect fit for this Atlanta Falcons team. But you guys give me your thoughts on, but I think he'll be a perfect fit.
1 hour.
1 hour. 1 hour. Let me go real quick. Let me go.
Go ahead.
All due respect, you, I don't give a damn about none of that you just said. Why? It's because we heard that we've hired a coach because he was the reason why we hired him. And follow me when I say this. He was the reason why we brought him. But we lost because Mike Smith. What was the weaknesses on him?
Are you talking about Mike Smith that was here with Matt Ryan? Oh man.
One key thing that what was him. Everybody always said this.
What's that?
Not developing talent. Second thing, Dan Quinn. The same thing. Not developing guys up front.
Right.
I don't care nothing about how singularly how great these coaches are. If we don't have a plan for the coaching staff, it's doomed. That was the reason why Arthur Smith got kicked out. That's why he got fired. He trusted in guys that they sucked. He was the smartest guy on that staff. So I don't care if we hire Bill Belichick. If Bill Belichick don't have a coaching staff that's going to help develop these players, if Jim Harbaugh don't have this, I don't care none about any of that. Because we've seen where teams hire a name, but the names behind those guys leave, and then they end up, we see that in Philadelphia right now.
Right. But that's what I just stated though, Mike. I said it depends on who they hire behind them.
That's exactly what I'm saying. I don't care. I don't care who this. It could be goddamn. It could be Timbuktu from Planet for Fluga. I don't care if he has a plan. That's what I care about. I want to see this team develop. We got way too many talented guys on both sides of the ball, and they're not developing properly. We still trying to figure out what's going on with Abiketi, why he not starting. We still trying to figure out what's wrong with D'Angelo Malone. Like, we still seeing these guys are just not developing. We still trying to figure out what the hell's wrong with Kyle Pitts. We still trying to figure out why Drew Dalman still damn dribbling the damn ball like he playing Mario Kart or some bullshit. Like we're still trying to figure all that out. It's been 3 years. We still trying to figure it out. So I agree, Jules. Like I care about the plan, man. I really don't. I could care less who this coach is. I want to see who he's bringing with him. That's what I want to focus on, because we get so caught up in names and he won championships, but we don't know the guys behind him might be the reason why he's getting all that publicity. You see what I'm saying?
I completely agree. I mean, I completely agree with you. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I wanted Arthur Smith as our head coach, because you guys remember what I said originally was because he called plays, we didn't have to worry about losing a play caller, because that's what ended up happening with Dan Quinn. He had Shanahan, but then when Shanahan
I forgot
got the head
about
coaching position, it's like, well, dang. Now you got to go find a guy to fill that position. So I don't know with Harbaugh if he's going to call his own plays, but it is going to come down to, I keep saying it over and over again. If you're an offensive minded guy, you got to have a strong defensive coordinator. If you're a defensive minded guy, you got to have a strong offensive coordinator. That's why I say with Bill Belichick, I'm fine with Bill Belichick coming here when I did my video on Bill Belichick, but it's like who he's bringing as his offensive coordinator. Like I said, is it going to be Bill O'Brien? Who is it going to be? Because our defense was fine last year. I need to know who's going to be dealing with the offense, because that was the problem last year. So Bill is excellent on defense, but we know he don't call offensive plays. So that's the deal. I completely agree with you. You're only good as your weakest link, as you said on your first.
Yeah.
1 hour.
K-Star gonna keep on saying
1 hour. 1 hour. Yesterday, in the span of 1 hour, Arthur Blank went from the worst owner to the league to now all of a sudden he is a genius. Because of
he really is trying to take his time and make the right decision at coach.
Literally within the hour span after they said that he need to sell the team, all of a sudden now he's doing it the right way. 1 hour is all it took. 1 hour. 1 hour. I'm gonna put that on a t-shirt. 1 hour.
It took 1 hour, bro.
We was in the middle of the show yesterday. The whole thing going on was forget Arthur Blank. I'm going to turn in my fandom. I'm no longer Atlanta Falcon fan.
I'm no longer covering the Atlanta Falcons.
I'm no longer covering the Atlanta Falcons. I'm no longer doing Falcon content. It took Jim Harbaugh interview. The same exact interview. Well, not the same style of interview, but it took one interview. Interview they did with Belichick. I'm no longer a Falcon fan. Interview with Jim Harbaugh. Now all of a sudden, man, Arthur Blank is a genius. Oh,
yes,
man.
he's back again.
1 hour. But I'm kind of like this on this. And y'all both had a good point. It's almost like politics in a way. We're always so focused on who's the president of the United States, who's the vice president, who's Congress, who's on the Senate. But the main thing, but the most important aspect when it comes to the common folks is who are your local electeds, who are your sheriffs. Mm-hmm. Like I said, like you said, and then you said Bill O'Brien almost damn near made me throw up in my mouth. But it's just going to depend. I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm going to kind of take a page out of both of y'all's book here in a second.
We kind of said the same thing, to be honest.
Yeah, I kind of said the same thing, but my thinking process is these interviews that we're seeing right now from what they're doing, whether it would be the DCs and the OCs and stuff like that, it's a possibility that two of them may be new coaches here. I think they may be more focused on who's going to be the offensive coordinator more so than the head coach. Yep. But they got the head, but they're using the head coaches to smoke screen on who they may have in mind for OCs. And that's who they're going to depend on, who they're coaching, who they're coaching head coach candidates. So it's a possibility that you may see a guy like a Antonio Pierce paired up with Ben Johnson, or you may see a Steve Wilkes paired up with a Brian Callahan. Because
Mm-hmm.
remember, we're not only we're looking for a head coach, we're looking for an OC,
Mm-hmm.
and and they need guys like I said, bring the best out of everybody.
Because another thing too that like I think that's plaguing the Atlanta Falcons. They had guys under Shanahan that they could have primed for the position, but they were so focused on the big name and the offensive coordinator, they didn't realize you had Mike McDonald, not Mike McDonald, but Mike McDaniel and those guys, the one in Green Bay.
Floyd.
I always forget his name, but
Well,
we had those guys. All we had to do was give them an opportunity. So this is why I'm saying, I was like, I want to know who's under them because when you follow the trace, like it'll show you where that tree is coming from. Like I want to know where the roots are, where your roots are,
can I
because
put
we
it?
started with that.
Can I put it in
The
simple
floor.
terms?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Y'all remember Rush Hour 2? What did Chris Tucker say in Rush Hour 2? If you want to know anything, any big major thing
Big man.
going on,
Yep.
follow
Mm-hmm.
the rich white man.
Yep.
It's the same
Yep.
concept.
Yep.
Follow the rich white man.
Mm-hmm. And you know exactly what you get.
because because what that entails is, like you said, that's letting you know what the plan is and where to go. And the thing about it is where why the experienced coach is the most likely here, from what you were saying, is because Arthur Blank done already this Arthur Blank done already set the standard.
Mm-hmm.
You got 3 years.
I love that he said only 3 years. I love it.
3 years. Get it done. So the thing is, when you're talking about guys like Ben Johnson, Bobby Slowick, hell, even when you're talking about Antonio Pierce, Anthony Weaver, like a lot of these young coaches that they're interviewing for right now, they have to take in mind that, okay, if I said I have a plan, we got to set that plan in motion. We gotta go through the necessary steps in order to get this. So we can't be the smartest guy in the room. We could be the head guy in the room, but we gotta surround ourselves with the right amount of people. That's why every general has a strategist. Every general has a strategist.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody that they can look at to for formulate plans.
Oh, we got a lot of them around here. Believe that. That man called Dunn is he's one of our leading strategists
Mm-hmm.
around here.
You gotta have a Zhuge Liang out here. You gotta have that. You gotta have a Takanaka handbag. You gotta have that.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't have those kind of guys, and I know I'm kind of hitting y'all with the Japanese, with the Japanese and the Three Kingdoms names up in here. I know most of y'all looking like, well, who the hell is these two? But you gotta have the right mind under him, and that's where Dan Quinn messed up at. Like you said, that's what Dan Quinn messed up at. That's what Arthur Smith that messed up at. Hell, be honest with you, that's what Mike Smith had messed up at.
Mm-hmm. Got to be the smartest guy in the room. That's when you fail. When you feel like you're the smartest guy in the room. You have to be the smartest guy. I love surrounding myself with intelligent people. We all gonna shine.
I always say it like this: the smartest guy in the room. If you the know it all in the room, then you're the dumbest one in the room. That's life.
Don't read that. Do not read that. Don't I
No. I said you gay Leon. If y'all, I see. The thing is, I Actually, right now, I'm actually listening to Romance of the Three Kingdoms. Actually, I'm a kind of a fan of that lore right there. Zhuge Liang, not Shoe Leon. That sounds like a pimp.
You gave me on.
So hey man, I'm in agreement with y'all, man. We gotta find out who the other guys is that's coming along.
That's what I'm focused on. I don't care nothing about these big names, man. At the end of the day, it's a name. I need quality.
Because you don't want to be bringing in, you don't want Jim Harbaugh bringing back Dirk Cutter as the offensive coordinator.
Oh boy.
Let me
Don't you ever in your life say.
Let me ask the people the question. So if Jim Harbaugh comes back as the head coach, would y'all like to see Dirk Cutter back as the offensive coordinator?
We don't need them problems. I'm
asking the people watching right now.
I will pick out. This is what I said. This is what I said too about what you were talking about. What the NFL is going offensively. That's like it's inevitable at this point. They want this to be a spread league. They don't want this to be physical. So that's inevitable for it to be. My thing is it gotta have a plan. So whoever can come in and run that spread and bring in guys that can run that spread, that's going to be the coach that's going to survive in the NFL now.
Come on! I need some more answers. Do y'all?
Don't nobody know. I don't even know how to spell what you just said. Okay?
No, I'm not talking about Zhuge Liang. I'm talking about Dirk Cutter.
No, you ain't got to do that.
Right.
No, it ain't hell no. Hell to the no.
But that's very interesting because
damn Dirk Cutter. Hell no. No.
But for real, like you said, whoever the head coach is going to have to bring in some guys that he can feed off of. Let's see something.
Y'all see why how everybody's going to Cincinnati and taking all their coaches. It's because of that spread offense. That's where the league is going. So you have to be able to incorporate that in the NFL now. And the thing with Bill Belichick, the thing is with them, they've been drafting defensive guys. They haven't been drafting offensive guys. So that's why you see them not performing well. They like one thing about the offense, I was looking at their numbers, they don't get a lot of yards, but they very efficient in that red zone. They very good. They around like almost 60% in the red zone with his offense. So strategy is his thing. One thing I did notice about Jim Harbaugh's offense too is that we said this about 4 years ago. When it came started, I was telling y'all the new concept of the NFL is not the route concepts. It's those post and pre-snap motions. I told y'all this long ago. That's the difference in the league now. Teams like you will line up in one particular formation, but guys are running these post snap and pre snap motions. You got to figure out you got to anticipate where guys are going to go. See, that's where Miami is excelling at. That's what the Chiefs have been excelling at because you can't figure out where these guys are going to be. They might line up, but post snap, that dude will come across the formation and then your linebacker get caught up behind somebody. That's why you see these big plays. So you don't necessarily need a lot of deep shots. All you got to do is learn how to use those pre-snap and post-snap motions. That right there is where the NFL is going. Pre-snap, post-snap, and anticipating defensive coordinators have to anticipate these post-snap and pre-snap motions.
Okay. And kind of looking at Jim Harbaugh, the reason why I went on the banter about Zhuge Liang was because I was actually looking some stuff up. So, as we looking at Jim Harbaugh, do any one of y'all know any of the coordinators that's under him right now? That was under him at Michigan?
We're done. What
Mhm.
we
Yeah, I'm gonna say hell no. I'm not done. That's all I'm gonna say. Hell no. I don't know. I
I
don't
know
know.
Don though. Where Don at?
Oh no! I actually got it right here. I actually got it right here.
Oh, we know
So,
Don know off the top of his head though.
oh, Don knows the pinky nail of the water boy in Michigan. We know that. Um, so when if we're looking at Jim Harbaugh, and we're just gonna use him as an example. So
Six
what
hundred,
you
y'all. Thank y'all for helping us get to 600 at heavy hitters.
Yeah, definitely appreciate it. So if we're talking about just on the offensive side of things, especially with his staff in Michigan, let me see if y'all even remember these, if y'all know these names. You got run game coordinator Mike Hart. You got they actually have offensive coordinator Sharon Moore, a slash offensive line coach. So that could be a possibility right there as well. Like I said, you may have to look up the history of Sharon Moore.
Mm-hmm.
Not Shamar Moore, y'all. Sharon Moore.
Not tomorrow more, okay?
So you may look into those certain aspects because my bad, I had a brain fog. I'm trying to think who's the running backs coach for the Falcons. But yeah,
Michael Petrie, I think it was.
Michael Petrie. Okay.
Yeah, I believe
Okay.
Michael Petrie, yeah.
Right. So like you said, when you look at Jim Harbaugh, when you're looking at Bill Belichick, when you're looking at guys like Ben Johnson, if you're looking at Antonio Pierce, Steve Wilkes, Evero, we're not throwing Dan Quinn in this mix because fuck him. We have to pay attention to the type of guys they got around. We can be happy about Jim Harbaugh and yeah, you and boo Bill Belichick all you want. Who he bringing with? That's going to be the question y'all have to ask yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Who they bringing with?
And I want you guys to actual local content creator if they know what and who these guys are. Like we got to start challenging them. Like we go to these guys for information, and if they don't know, they selling y'all dreams. We don't sell y'all dreams, but that's one thing we never going to do is sell your dream. We're going to tell you the truth and what needs to happen, not what we like to happen. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, my thing is I'm done with liking things because I liked Arthur Smith. I thought he was exactly what we needed, and he was what we needed, but his ego got the best of him. He refused to change. He refused to change, and that's what our downfall is. Most coaches, and the same thing that happened to Mike Smith. He wanted to sit back and play that damn cover three his damn self. Like we always get these damn. Oh, Lord Jesus, I just put it together. Oh Lord, that's the reason why we fucking lost. Both of those guys wanted to change the fronts, but they still wanted to keep playing that cover three. That's what happened with Mike Smith. We had Dante Robinson constantly running them damn cover three schemes. And then we brought in Mike what the defensive coordinator? I forget his name. But we brought him in and he tried to run the same scheme.
Was it Zimmer?
No, not Mike Zimmer. God damn
it. Ain't Malarkey.
His name Mike. That's all I know. But he coached with the Ravens suit.
Mike Nolan.
But Mike Nolan. Yeah. That's it. Mike Nolan. It's like we all bring these defensive coordinators that love to play zone. Bro, like dude, they never want to get physical. That's the reason why they failed. They want to constantly. You gotta attack, and that's the thing. What I like about Ron Nielsen and Dean P. Those guys were attacking defensive guys. Like you can't constantly stay in cover three. That's why Dallas got their behind toe up. You wanted to run. You ran man all season long until you get to the playoffs and say, "Oh, let's go back to the Suki Hunter slut walk defense." Like,
that defense was bust wide open. It
bust wide open.
was bust wide open, bro. Like I said, it's bad when you getting toe out the frame like that, and on the very following commercial break, the song they playing is "You Dropped the Bomb on Me." They lit the fuse.
Ooh, boy.
You dropped the bomb on me.
You dropped the bomb on me.
Baby, you dropped the bomb. Bruh, if they playing that kind of song like that after you just got scolded on, it is a problem. But we also found out, too, is that the Dallas Cowboys in that game ran 6 defensive backs on the field on almost 90% of their defensive snaps. So you had 4 defensive linemen, 1 linebacker, 6 DBs. And why the hell was they getting open like that if you had all those defensive backs back there? Because nobody knew what the hell they were doing. They had been free-flowing all year, and then in the biggest game,
that gave me so much nightmares. It just gave me nightmares thinking about that. He did that so much in Atlanta. Like he hasn't learned anything.
Bruh, let me tell you. If y'all go back and watch that game, that defense looked so putrid. You had tight ends calling for fair catches before they caught the ball. Now, as Falcon fans, we looked at this and like, well, there go Dan Quinn doing what Dan Quinn does. D. Coleman said that shit gave. He said that game gave him PTSD.
Bro, I'm giving me PTSD. We've seen that so much. How many times have we seen Ricardo Allen out here trying to damn tackle a running back? He's 100. He damn 200 pounds. He barely 100 fucking. He's barely 200 pounds. He's
like 180.
We seen that far too much. And like I said, this is the reason why coaches fail is because their egos get the best of them. They just think, "Yep, I'm gonna make it happen."
Damn shame, y'all. Damn shame. All right, man. So we're going to the Q&A portion of the show right now. So y'all go ahead and start putting your questions in here. We got about 15 minutes left. So let's go ahead and get that Q&A going here. So whatever question you want to ask, whether it be Atlanta Falcons or anything pertaining to these playoff games.
In the playoffs, yeah.
Because this is going to be very interesting. Green Bay, 49ers, Ravens, Texans. Oh, this is gonna be real interesting playoffs this right now. We've already seen it start off. I think they said most of the games were blowouts, but this is gonna be interesting. All right, now y'all better start throwing some questions in here. Ain't nobody got no questions. I'm gonna give y'all about a minute to start putting some questions in here. But let's start reading some of these comments. D. Coleman here said it was embarrassing how Musgrave and Dobbs was how open they were getting. Mm-hmm.
Bro, they could have hit the damn Michael Jackson Thriller dance out there. They were goddamn how long they were freaking over.
Well, Calvin really was wishing that he was goddamn seeing defenses like that. Dirty Bird here said the Shanahan, Kubiak, Andy Reid offense is taking the lead by storm. Dolphins, Packers, San Fran, Rams, KC. They do a lot of pre-snap motion at the line of scrimmage.
That's correction. That's Bill Walsh West Coast offense. It's not Kyle Shanahan. We gonna show respect to the creator. Okay.
That's where it's kind of going back to what we was talking about earlier, as far as as Bill Belichick kind of being too old and need to catch up to 2024. This 2024, like I said, everything we're seeing in this league right now, we've already seen. You just have more athletes on the field to execute it to make it look different, but it's all essentially the same.
Just window dressing on it. Like I was saying, just a lot of motion. It's a simple plays, just motion, just to create confusion. Like I always say, at one split second when you freeze as a defender or your eyes are in the wrong place, you beat. It don't take a split second.
That's why tight ends are so valuable now, so valued now. Even right around like even in the past, you still had tight ends that were valued. They're not as valued as they are now because having those kind of guys in the middle of the field that can give you those kind of mismatched looks or I don't know where this guy's gonna go, it opens a lot.
Just go look at Steve Young in San Francisco. You'll see exactly what I mean when I say this has been. Just look at any game in San Francisco with Steve Young. You see exactly why I say this is nothing new. Everything that you're saying, if you like Michael Penix, go look at Steve Young and at San Francisco. You'll see exactly why I say nothing is new. He's the perfect comparison from the 90s to now. Nothing different than what about that offense in San Francisco. They're using the same concepts. They run. He pretty much throw exactly like Steve Young. Steve Young just throw with a little bit more velocity on it. But he's like it's almost like watching Steve Young.
Yeah, rather be Steve Young than Jared Lorenzen. I'll tell you that much.
Oh my God, not Jerry Lorenzo.
All right, rest in peace.
Boy. I don't know what happened to him.
Let's see. D. Coleman said, "What do you think about Latayu Latu? Heard his folks say about technique, but I don't see the power explosiveness. Y'all want from an edge? Am I missing something? We haven't really started that process yet as far as looking at those type of guys. But I know he's one of the bigger names in this year's draft. I usually don't start doing the prospect process till about literally the last week, well, the beginning of February. So, like you said, y'all stay tuned for the heavy hitters around that time because now y'all gonna catch some interesting stuff from us. Xavier Littman here said, fellas, do y'all think this is the Ravens' year to go all the way?
I think they got a chance. I don't think Houston's beating them, to be honest. The reason I say I give the Ravens a chance is because they're a physical team. They have a good defense. They're going to run the ball, and they have weapons. So, I mean, and I think they had the number one defense. So I really feel like
defense.
Yeah, I think in this game against the Texans, I think this was CJ Stroud, like him being a rookie. I think he may make a couple mistakes in this game because the Ravens have a veteran defense. They have players on all three levels, and Lamar Jackson is healthy, and they actually have an offense where they've opened it up. So I really feel like it's going to come down to physicality. The game is one in the trenches. If you look at the teams that won this past weekend, it's teams that are able to run the ball and that are balanced. So Ravens are probably one of other than the 49ers, they're the most balanced team. Like we've seen them go up against the 49ers and pretty much demolish them because they're balanced. So I think they have a chance. Anybody can be beat, but if the Ravens were to win the Super Bowl, I think this could be the year to do it. The only team I think will be standing in their way that probably could beat them is the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs, because of the experience, Andy Reid, Pat Mahomes, If it come down to the AFC Championship between those two teams, you got to give the Chiefs, the edge because they're the defending champs. But in this next round, I think that they're gonna beat the Texans. I think they take the Texans out in this next game. But you never know. That's why they call it any given Sunday. But I'll say that they're the most balanced team.
Right.
I don't believe in them. I don't believe in Lamar, and I don't believe in the Ravens. They've had top 5 defenses
For 20
about
years.
a good
20 years.
For like 20 years. So I've seen this same stuff. We've seen this little song from them year after year after year. All this gonna come down to Lamar being Lamar. If Lamar can actually do something besides run, they'll beat. They'll beat. But defenses. The reason why I say I'm not buying it is because I'm not buying a defense. It's more so about their defense because this is the best of the best. You're not playing, in Atlanta, an experienced team. You're not playing the Jets anymore. You're playing experienced teams with great defensive coordinators and great offensive coordinators and great head coaches. These guys are very keen on strategy. So if they're going to beat them, like their defense got to play like they actually had, almost 70 sacks this year. You know what I'm saying? 60 sacks this year. So Baltimore defense always frees up when they get in the playoffs. Always frees up. They always end up giving up 20, 30 points when they don't do that all year. So I'm just not a believer in their defense. I really don't look at anybody on that team that says, all right, he's an elite player. They don't have elite players. Roquan Smith is not an elite. I think he's a very good linebacker. He's not elite. I don't think they have a elite corner. I don't think they have an elite safety. Have very good safety. These guys are optimistic. They create pressure up front, but I don't see an elite player, and that could be a great hindrance to that team. They need a Grady Jarrett on that squad. I just don't see it.
Reddy here said any particular reason why we're looking at Aaron Glenn? They didn't really have a top 10 defense in Detroit. Like I said before, essentially he's one of those players, coaches type of guys. I mean, like you said, yeah, their defense wasn't top 10, but you had to think. I think they led the league in I think they was in the top 5 turnovers. Yeah. So as much yards as they were giving up, they was taking the ball away. And like I said, he's one of those kind of players, coaches type of guys to where people gonna want to play for him. And like they said, it's just like with Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh has done it. He's done it at a high level in this league. Jim Harbaugh was a Pro Bowler, all-pro quarterback. Aaron Glenn, multiple-time Pro Bowler. He wasn't necessarily all-pro, but like I said, he was always within that top echelon as far as corners in his league. So he's seen it, and I'm gonna say this too, and I'm gonna give a shout out to D'Amico Ryans because this is what you're seeing in Houston right now. You're seeing a former player who was a DC who can help motivate. I ain't gonna say help motivate, but he can get the best out of these guys because he's been on the field. He's been through the hardships of an NFL player at a high level. So guys can actually get more motivated from the respect factor of the fact that he's done it the same way they did. Jamal Grant.
I got the game too. I got the game. So I will go back and look at the San Francisco 49ers, 1994 against the Dallas Cowboys. Looking at that tape, they use a lot of pre-snap, a lot of pre-snap motion in that San Francisco 49er game. That's a perfect example of why I'm saying, what you say, none of these concepts are new. They're just bringing these things back because you got so much speed on the field, so you got to be able to utilize that speed. So I'm going to put that on my community tab, and I'll put it on the heavy hitter community tab, so y'all can go watch San Francisco 49ers offense. You see exactly what I mean.
Oh my God, Jamal Grant with the $2 super chat. He said Jim and Bill they both gonna be here. It's just that one of them gonna be the head coach.
Boy, that happened.
Boy, that's some overkill for your ass.
Man, they gonna kill each other. They ain't gonna be that no. Them boys gonna hurt each other. That ain't gonna work. No, that ain't gonna work, partner.
But that thing gonna have this fan base confused like him. Like,
Bruh, come on, man.
I hate one, but I love the other, so they both here. So, like, yeah, boy, that's a combustible element right there, boy.
Bruh, that's a mess.
Head coach A and B.
They're gonna be love of hip hop of head coaches. That's what we're gonna call it.
Boy.
love and head coach. That's what we're gonna call it right there. They're gonna be arguing on the sideline about who gonna do what. You're gonna have Desmond Ritter sitting on the sideline chewing on almonds like see this shit over here. I didn't sign up for this. I didn't sign up for it. All right, Mucho here said, what y'all prefer, a first round QB or I guess Brock Bowers?
Quarterback. How many tight ends do we need? We got Jonnu and we got Kyle Pitts. Unless we get rid of one of them guys, go quarterback. Like, to be honest, I think that was another downfall of Arthur Smith. I feel bad for him, but I just sat back and thought about it. Like, this man literally had 3 different quarterbacks every single year. You started with Matt Ryan, who's the best out of the 3. Then you had Mariota, you had Ritter, like
Taylor Heineke.
Yeah, like, to be honest, I feel like that was another downfall for him, to be honest. Like, I feel like he should have just brought in a veteran, possibly better than a Marcus Mariota, or just drafted his guy, because I feel like I can't for sure say that Desmond Ritter was the guy that he wanted. You know what I'm saying? Like, because he was drafted in the 3rd round, I don't know if he was Arthur Smith's guy. So as much as I'm like, dang, I wanted Arthur Smith out because he didn't cut it, I feel bad because I really feel like he didn't get the best opportunity as well, because he didn't have really like a quarterback that we can say, yeah, that's a franchise, or that's a guy that can get you out of issues. Because sometimes when you have a veteran guy, even if it's a bad play call, they can make something happen. I can't say that with Marcus Mariota or Ritter. We've seen Matt Ryan do some things because, of course, Matt Ryan's a future Hall of Famer. But I feel like as much as I was saying he was putting Desmond Ritter in bad spots last year, it's like if you had a veteran guy, they can go to the line, they can check, they can change out of a bad play. Ritter's not doing that right now in his progressions. He's still in the development stages, so he can't get you out of a bad play. Sometimes having a Matt Ryan, having a Tom Brady, whoever you want to say, having a franchise guy that understands the game, they can get you out of bad situations. And I feel like Arthur Smith, that's one thing that he didn't have. He didn't have Mariota, couldn't get him out of bad situations, and Ritter couldn't get him out of bad situations. So if he did call a bad play, he had basically 0 margin for error. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's something that I got to give Arthur Smith, some slack for. But should we give him slack for it? Because it's like, why didn't you just draft a quarterback, or why didn't the front office allow him to pick his quarterback or go out and spend money? I know early on we didn't have the money, but still, the guys he chose, I feel like, look where Marcus Mariota is right now. He's the backup for the Eagles. So it's like his job being tethered to those 2 guys. I kind of feel bad, for Arthur Smith in that situation, because he really was put in a tough position. So, he kind of got a raw deal when it comes to that.
When it comes down to that, it like you said, it also comes down to it. This is also a thing that you have to think about too as well when you're talking about Ben Johnson. His quarterback has already experienced the Super Bowl before he even took that position. So that's the question that you have to ask, and that is, if you have a young quarterback, and I'm talking about a quarterback that you draft, can he help develop them? Just like Mike said earlier, can you help develop these players? And
a waste of a draft pick if you can't develop these players. It's a waste. We wasted so many guys, Vic Beasley, Tack McKinley, because we did not develop them. We couldn't develop them. So what's the point of bringing in a head coach that can develop one position, the offensive line? He developed the offensive line great, but everything else was just lackluster.
Which is why which is why when somebody asks the question of the cult of setting a foundation of building a culture, it has to be a long-term system. Like I said, the Atlanta Falcons problem right now, and I said it on last night's show. You can't build a foundation when you're tearing it up every 3 years. That's the problem.
I agree. And that's why I go back to what I was saying, Kev, is I really would want to bring in, and this might sound dumb, but I kind of want to bring in somebody that looks at these pieces we have and sees them as desirable. Because whoever you bring it in, if they see everybody that we already have on this team as like, this guy ain't gonna fit my system, this guy ain't gonna fit my system, then we finna get right into another rebuild. Let's just be real. Because they're gonna have to go in and draft all of the guys that they want. If they feel like they can't use any of the pieces that are here already, then what we doing? Because they're gonna have to go in and revamp the whole team again. So whoever we bring in, I hope it's somebody that sees the guys that we have and say, I can work with that. And they can see how they can use these guys. Because they feel like I don't like Epiketti, I don't like these, edge rushers, outside linebackers. I want pure defensive ends. Well, we finna cut a bunch of guys. So we finna get right into that, what you was talking about. Tear up the whole foundation and remodel the whole thing.
See, based on that too, this is the reason why I know for sure that Bill Belichick is the right guy because of that. Because I don't know what Jim Harbaugh wants to do defensively. We know for the most part when he was in San Francisco, they played a lot of 3-4. Do we have the 3-4 personnel?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we do, but we'll have to get that nose tackle in the middle that like you need to play that position. That's something that we don't have. Like Onyemata is very good, but he's not a 3-4 guy. I think Carter, Bud Dupree, those guys have played in a 3-4 system. So, it's like that's the thing. I think offensively, when you look at our offense as it pertains to our tight ends, like we have Bill Belichick likes the big physical wide receivers. That's the reason why he traded for Muhammad Sanu. And and Kyle Pitts, we have Kyle Pitts and we have John O. He's had those guys already. So I know that Jim Harbaugh is good. I think he's perfect as far as the offense is concerned, but there's a question defensively what he wants to do. And if, like Drew said, we might be starting over defense. We might have to get rid of Jesse Bates because he might not like Jesse Bates. He might not like AJ Terrell. We're going right back to rebuilding the team. So this is why I want to see who comes with these guys because they don't have a plan for them. Like, why are you hiring the coach? You just hiring them based off a name.
Mm-hmm. And I see this comment right here is look at Green Bay. They drafted, developed a wide draft quarterback before they need to. We need to follow that concept. The problem is how can you develop a quarterback in that same amount of time when you don't have the stability in the room to help them develop? That
You see what
basically
we're
just
going back to? That's what we're running back to the same problem.
Mm-hmm.
and when you look at that Green Bay, think about it. The Green Bay Packers since 1992. Jordan Love is the third quarterback that started. I don't count Matt. I don't count Matt Flynn. I don't really count Brett Hundley or nothing like that. We're talking about significant starter. They've only had 3 since 1992, and that's Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love.
They have not changed their formula offensively. They have not changed it defensively.
It's that goes back to what we saying. You have to have a system a culture, and a standard. You can't build that if you tear it up every 3 years.
Meaning you got to be patient. It's gonna take time.
So
If you
That
don't want it
word.
to take time, then
boom,
guess what?
boom.
Mm-hmm. And
So
we go
the
right there.
so Dirty Bird, the question to counter that with is, as Falcon fans, do you have the patience to see a quarterback develop?
See it through. Desmond Ritter. I tried to say it last year. Let's just see this through. Our coach couldn't even see it through. Y'all was so harsh. Y'all got to the coach. Arthur Smith couldn't even see it through. He couldn't even see a full year through this Desmond Ritter making mistakes, and the media got so much on that man nerves. He benched the dude twice.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. He
So
listening. He listening to the media. That's one thing you
listen,
got to be great at as a leader. You got to stop listening to these people on online, bro. You got to.
you got yeah. You can't be listening to him. Like I said, if you gonna go down, if your guy sucks and you gonna go down, if you stood by that, just stand on it.
Stand on business.
Stand
That's
on
what I'm saying.
business. Stand on business. But what I think this is what I think. We about to get up out of here in a couple minutes. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave the show off with this. Matt Ryan was the plan for Arthur Smith. Why? Because Kyle Pitts was the first pick for this regime. Matt Ryan is comfortable throwing to check downs and tight ends. Hence why Kyle Pitts was getting the recognition for the name where he was going to become. The problem was with Matt Ryan being gone, you had to make an adjustment. Because you have to remember, right before 2021, your number one receiver dipped out on you. Your number two receiver dipped out on you 5 games into the season. So all you had was Kyle Pitts. But they needed Mariota and they needed Desmond Ritter for the simple fact is they needed to put most of their resources on the defense.
That was the plan the whole time. The thing is, they didn't foresee Matt Ryan getting in his feelings about them having a conversation. And like I said,
Mm-hmm.
we say this time and time, the Falcons never offered Deshaun Watson any contract. They they sat down and they listened to one of his representatives that came to them. Matt Ryan heard about it and he stated several times, I got in my feelings and I wanted to move. He said this time and time again. So if Matt Ryan just like understands that this is a business and these things happen, bro, you 37 at the time. He's 37. You're not gonna play forever. They have to start looking. This is just the game, bro. Once you get a certain age, look, you gotta understand, like it's no longer personal. We gotta start preparing for the future because you 37, they hit you the wrong way, you out for a season. And it's harder for guys that age to bounce back from injury. But they met with Watson representative. They never once met him. Never once. All right. So I think we said this a billion times when it comes down to it. All of this was really Matt Ryan's. If Matt Ryan doesn't get in his feelings, I would truly believe that Desmond Ritter is the guy that we are looking to develop. I really is the quarterback. But in Kyle Pitts, I think Kyle Pitts is like a 2 or 3 time Pro Bowl receiver, tight end. If Matt Ryan's out there, it's like, but like I said, at the end of the day, man, sometimes it doesn't go the way that you expect. So you gotta make those necessary adjustments. And Terry Funson, they wanted to focus on building the defense. Their focus has always been on defenses in the trenches right now. That's what their thing is. So now they gotta alter. They gotta come up with an alternate plan. So that's what we are. So I think there will be a quarterback, but the thing is how much you willing to give up for that quarterback.
And Jamal Grant came with the $2 super chat. Said, so did Matt Ryan quit on the team?
He didn't quit. He just go ahead, go ahead.
He just knew the writing was on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
He knew he wasn't wanted anymore. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just me meeting with them, say, okay, I know y'all trying to move on. I still want to play. So I'm about to say, like you said, let me go ahead and see if I can find somebody that wants me. And like I said, the thing about it is, you can't say he didn't quit on the team because it was in the off season. Now, if he'd did this thing by week 9, after he got stomped on his finger and blood was gushing out his hand, then you can say he ain't quit on the team. Nah,
Mm-mm. And he realized it was a mistake soon when he got there, coach in Indianapolis. He realized it was a mistake. You should have been patient. But like I said, you can't tell people how to feel. He felt like, it was
okay.
disrespectful. He felt like, you know, um, whatever he was thinking. Like I said, at the end of the
I'm,
day, I can see it on both sides. Like I said, from the organization, Matt 37, Mark about to be 38. Bruh, we have to start planning for something, and we have to meet with whomever the quarterback is and their representatives.
I mean, and then like you said, the thing about it is, especially around that time with Deshaun Watson, even if they would have went after him, like you said, he already knew his time was up in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
So it necessarily wasn't a quitting situation.
Yeah, I think it was a culmination of all of the
Mm,
things that y'all saying.
mm.
Julio wanted out, Ridley wanted out, because we thinking we coming in, okay, we're gonna have Julio, Ridley, and Kyle Pitts. That didn't work
Mm-hmm.
out. Then Matt Ryan's contract
Ooh.
was crazy.
Oh, that
His
right
salary.
there added to it, Jude. Because Matt Ryan, I don't think he would have gotten his feeling had Julio Jones didn't pull what he pulled. I think that had a major part in why Matt Ryan, because his guy was gone and
Yeah,
his other guy wanted out.
yeah. So it's like it was a culmination of all of those things, and then they factored in Matt Ryan's contract. So it's like, well, dang, Julio out. We might as well start doing like as you said, Kay, the cleanse. Let's just go ahead and get the salary cap right since everybody else left. Because those are core pieces. You lose Julio and Ridley, like what we doing?
Mhm.
Because you basically just had Matt Ryan and Kyle Pitts. That was it. Like I remember that year we didn't have really no receivers. Like we had
Mhm.
Zacchaeus. That was the year when our
Just a
players
game,
ran into each other. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Tajay
Nasty
Sharp.
work, boy. Whew.
Yeah. So it is what it is. But like y'all said, it was a culmination of multiple things. So I don't ever put it on Matt. Like you said, he got in his feelings, but it was like so many other dominoes fell before that.
Mhm.
The writing's on the wall. Like, what we
It
doing?
was time. It was just time.
hmm and if you pay attention to the mannerisms of Desmond Ritter, the way that the way that his mechanics and the way that he throw the football, it was Matt Ryan. Like he was hoping to get what he got out of Matt Ryan out of Desmond Ritter, but
Yeah.
but but where it was at far that was he put the Matt Ryan expectations on Desmond Ritter and didn't help him none either.
Mm,
and he
nah.
didn't help himself neither. It was all, and I think that's why he was trying to prove a point because he was
Mhm.
trying to live up to Matt Ryan.
Instead of letting him be who he was.
Right. But we're gonna go ahead and get up on out of here, y'all. Man, we actually 8 minutes over what we need to be. But definitely appreciate everybody. Very, very good show today. Like I said, make sure y'all go ahead and continue to support your boys, the heavy hitters, live, as well as the individual channels, which is Jew Talk Sports,
Mm-hmm.
Bad Mike Sports,
Mm-hmm.
6-Man K Style.
Woo!
So until next time, y'all, we ain't here to play.
Oh no.
We here to stay.
Oh yeah. Dig it.
You ain't gotta go home.
But you got to get the hell out of here. Oh yeah.
I think Mother Nature's playing a joke on us right now because we got 3 straight days of 20-degree weather. Ain't this
Yeah, I can't. I don't like this. I don't like that at all.
Help your boy get 3K. Three.
Three K,
almost
three
at
K,
3K?
almost there.
He's almost at 3K. I'm trying to get to 15. So we getting there now. We getting there. Deuces.
Oh, you. Oh.